Greetings to all. This is a session on chromosomal aberrations. Now, as we know that almost every cell in our human body contains 23 pairs of chromosomes, total 46 chromosomes, and half of these chromosomes come from our mother's side, half of these come from the father's side. The first 22 pairs are called autosomes. The 23rd pair consists of 6 chromosomes, X and Y. Females usually have 2 X chromosomes and the males have 1 X and 1 Y in each cell, and all of these information that the body needs to grow, the body needs for development, they come across from these chromosomes, right? Each chromosome contains certain genes which make proteins, and they direct the development, the growth, or certain form of chemical reactions that are happening within the body. But when there is a defect in the chromosome or in the arrangement of the genetic material in the chromosome, that is when there occurs the chromosomal aberrations, or generally we call as chromosomal abnormalities or chromosomal disorders. So chromosomal abnormalities, they can have different effects depending on the specific abnormality. For example, as you have heard of Down syndrome, it's the copy of chromosome, extra copy that we have of chromosome number 21, right? So because it has one extra chromosome, it shows a different developmental effect on the body, right? So there are different causes for it. The chromosomal abnormalities can cause miscarriage. It could happen due to miscarriage, disease, or certain problems in growth and development of the person itself. So chromosomal disorder, or technically speaking chromosomal aberration, is defined as missing or extra or irregular portion of the chromosomal DNA, right? Now the chromosomal abnormalities can also occur as the accident during gamete formation or during the early developmental stages. Now the age of mother and certain environmental factors also do come as a crucial role players in the occurrence of any genetic errors. As we've discussed in the other presentation, there are different methods to screen. There could be genetic screening, there could be prenatal screening, and prenatal testing that could be performed to examine the chromosomes of the fetus and then detect some but not all types of chromosomal abnormalities depending on the conditions, depending on the symptoms that we could detect from that person. Now, there are two main types of chromosomal abnormalities which occur during meiosis and fertilization process. These are numerical aberrations and the structural aberrations. The numerical abnormalities are when the whole chromosome is either missing from or extra to a normal pair is there, okay? And the structural abnormalities are when there's a part of an individual chromosome that is missing, or there's an extra part of that individual chromosome is there, or it is switched to another chromosome, or it's turned upside down, the inversion process. So we'll be discussing it in detail. Firstly, coming on to numerical aberrations. Now, genetic disorders which are usually caused by the failure of chromosome division and that result in the cells which are having an extra chromosome or either the deficiency of that chromosome, right? Both the conditions. So numerically it is altered, and it could have gained or it could have lost. So when it is gaining an extra chromosome, okay, when it is gaining an extra chromosome, it is hyperploidy, and when it is losing a chromosome, then it is hypoploidy. And basically, the change in the numerical aberration again is in two main processes: aneuploidy and polyploidy. Firstly, so when there is a variation in the number of particular chromosome within a given set, like we'll see here, this is a good example of aneuploidy. Okay, so just so you know, hyperploidy and hypoploidy are the two types of aneuploidical numerical aberrations. Okay, because here we are observing the change within the set of the chromosome. Okay, there is no extra pair added or there is no extra pair lost. The chromosome within a single pair is being talked about. Getting my point? For example, when in this condition, it's a very good example of hyperploidy, Down syndrome, also called as Mongolism. There's a chromosomal aberration here in the chromosome number 21 when we see. So this is a pair of chromosome, right? Like we see in chromosome number 16, this is called as one pair of chromosome. So within this pair of chromosome, there is an extra chromosome added. Therefore, the set is disturbed. The rest of the chromosomes, rest of the pairs are as it is. The total number of pairs is n, like, right? So that is what is being talked about. The set remains same, but there's an addition to one given set. The change is within the set. Okay. Yeah. Now this chromosomal aberration for the Down syndrome was studied by Langdon Down in 1886. It is caused by full or partial trisomy of the autosomal chromosome pair number 21. Thus, therefore, it's called as trisomy 21, which is caused by the non-disjunction during meiosis. And the karyotype, therefore, is written as 47x plus 21, because addition is at 21 position, right? We have xs, there's no y, and there's total, see, there's an addition to the total pair. We have 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs. There are 23 pairs, but there's one addition of chromosome. The pairs are still 23. Okay, the pair is still 23, but there's just one addition of the chromosome. So as a symptom of Down syndrome, we generally observe in form of intellectual disability. There's a short stature of the person. There's this feature of epicanthic fold. There's a semen crease in the palm. They have congenital hurt issues, and a lot many symptoms could be identifiable. The second example here we'll be discussing is of Turner syndrome, also called as female hypogonadism, and it was first given by Henry Turner in 1938. This also is an example of aneuploidy, but a hypoploidy condition wherein we are losing the chromosome. Okay, just remember, hypo when we are losing, hyper when we are gaining. Okay. So basically it results from full or partial monosomy of X chromosome, and in the majority of the cases an extra X chromosome is missing due to the non-disjunction during meiosis phase. So the karyotype here is written as 45, and because one X is also lost, okay, so we have just one X. See, we have just one X chromosome, and the total number of chromosomes is also 45. For other aneuploidy example, you can read on Patau syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, Edwards syndrome. These are also very commonly used syndromes for examples. So you can study on them. Next is polyploidy. So there's a condition when cells have more than two homologous sets of chromosomes. Right? Now here we are talking about the sets. Okay? When there is an increase in the whole set, then the condition is called as polyploidy. Generally, this is more common in the plants, which are asexually propagated, and they are quite infrequent in the animals per se. And these are three forms: triploid, tetraploid, pentaploid. So that is more or less about polyploidy, because it's not relevant in the humans context. Coming on to the second type of aberrations, we have the structural aberrations. These are defined as the genetic disorders which are caused by the alteration of chromosome structure without any change in the number of the chromosome. So generally they result from breakage or the incorrect rejoining of the chromosomal segments during the meiosis phase. But this may also occur in the single chromosome, and this may involve more than one chromosome also. But technically speaking, therefore it could be intra and it could be interchromosomal aberrations. So what is interchromosomal? When there's a break that occurs in the known homologous chromosomes and results in the fragments interchanged by both the known homologous chromosomes. And when the aberrations are confined to a single chromosome of a homologous pair, these are called as intrachromosome aberrations. Now, these are 4 types of structural aberrations that we come across, generally talking. These are deletions, duplications, inversions, and translocations. So, deletion, as the name itself says, there's a loss. The segment of the chromosome is absent or gets deleted. When we talk about this particular example, here we can see a break in the chromosome which does not involve the centromere, and therefore this genetic material that sees the break is totally removed, and therefore in the final product we have a deleted segment, given segment. Okay, the good example is Chiari-Shad syndrome. The second condition is duplication, wherein the segment of chromosome gets duplicated, causing the additional genetic material. How come? Again, considering a given segment, the segment gets duplicated, right? And that's how it's done. The third case is of translocation. When the segment of a chromosome gets transformed to another chromosome. Okay. Looking at the figure, see, it's a very commonly used diagram that we have seen in the exchange of genetic component. Even in the case of recombination, we have studied this. So a segment of both the homologous chromosomes gets interchanged. They get they get translocated. So there are 3. This is a very good example of a simple or say balanced form of translocation. There are other 2 types like reciprocal and the shift, depending on the composition of that genetic material that is being translocated. So we can categorize these 2 as well. The 4th type of understanding of structural aberration is inversion, wherein the portion of a chromosome breaks off, it turns in a reverse orientation and then reattaches, as we can see here. And these are of 2 types generally observed, the paracentric and the pericentric, wherein one does not involve the centromere, it is paracentric, and where we have the centromere, it's pericentric inversion. So as in this case, there's a break involved, the inversion happens and it reattaches. Okay, that's how it is done. These are practice questions for you. You can try these questions out for your session. This was more or less about the chromosomal aberrations. Thank you for your time.